This is Hockey Talk. It's time for the Gamblers Match Game.
I'm always excited for this one. We're back here at Hockey Talk WNFL. It's the match game. We got John Leonard and Jason Dhooghe on the mic, of course, myself, and Scott Jewett, along with assistant coach Cody Chupp, 6 to 7 p.m. every Tuesday night. Let's get into our little game. This is my favorite part because I'm not a big X's and O's type guy. If I was the coach, I think I'd be more the motivator, Scott, and you guys would be the guys that are actually figuring it out and winning games.
Yeah, these are some tough questions, and you put these guys on the spot. Let's see how they do.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. I gotta say, we got a beef with the team a little bit. I gotta say that I disagree with the bad hair comment, Dukes. I really do.
Yeah, it's all right though. The boys still love me, and they love the hair too. They just have to give me that. I don't know what to say. It's just bad hair.
Anybody confident enough to wear a Blackhawks hat like that? I mean, like.
Well, I hear about this Minnesota all-hair team all the time. Maybe we'll start a USHL all-hair team.
I agree.
Something like that.
I
think so.
Be part of that.
No?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't say anything. I wear a hat all the time because of the same reason. All right, let's get down. We got 4 scenarios for the guys. We'll see if they match up their answers. Of course, they haven't talked to each other beforehand. But we'll get right into it. Thank you for my bell, Kyle. Appreciate that. Question number 1. If you had to pick one hockey player to beat at a one-on-one game, who would it be? We'll start with John.
Personally, I would pick Patrice Bergeron just because.
Littler guy, huh?
Yeah, just
face-off extraordinaire.
I've always grown up watching him, and he's been one of my favorite players, so it'd be pretty cool.
No, absolutely. Jason?
Since I'm a Blackhawks fan, I'm going to have to pick Patrick Kane. He's the best player in the league right now, and it'd be pretty fun to play one-on-one against him.
See, I would always think like Wayne Gretzky because then you beat the great one, right? No?
Yeah, but I'm still arguing with that Patrick Kane being the best player in the league thing. I think there's better players than the Chicago Blackhawks.
Really?
I'm a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. We're not even going to be in the playoffs, but I'm a huge Jonathan Taves fan. Yeah. And what he brings, and Kane's a fantastic player as well, and it's hard to argue. But
this is why I'm sitting between you two
right now. Great player.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, of course you guys weren't going to pick the same one on that one. But, okay, second question. Would you rather play the longest game in NHL history, Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, and assist on the game-winning overtime goal, or score the game winner in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Finals to win the Stanley Cup? Not in overtime, just a regular game winner. What are your thoughts? Let's start with John.
That's a really tough question, but I think I would – I don't know. It'd be pretty cool to score that goal, and no matter what, you're still winning the Stanley Cup. But I don't know. I think scoring that goal would be pretty special. But
see, Dukes, I think a good teammate would assist on the goal, right? What do you think?
Honestly, I would have to agree with John here. Scoring the goal would be pretty awesome. Getting an assist would be nice too, but scoring a goal would be a better memory.
What do you think, Scott? You put yourself in that situation.
Well, I can honestly. I enjoy watching both of these guys play.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've watched the team first mentality of both of them. Good character, hard-nosed players. So I didn't know what they'd say, but either one. If I'm winning a Stanley Cup, I'm all about it, man.
I always love your question on the 2-on-0 breakaway on an empty net. Yeah, let's ask them right now. What do you do?
You got a 2-on-0 with an empty net, and what do you do? Do you score the goal? Or do you pass it to your partner who might, get to 20 goals on the season, and that was their goal at the start of the year? Do you take the goal, or do you pass it to your buddy so he can score?
You got to pass it off.
Pass it off?
There you go.
Yeah, either way, you're getting a point, but it's a little different scenario than the Game 6.
What do you think, Jason? You're agreeing with him?
Yeah, I agree.
If
your teammate's got 2 goals, he's going for that hat trick. You gotta toss him the puck for that empty netter.
I love talking hockey so much. Like these kind of questions, I just love because and Coach Chupp, you could ask. Would you rather be +5 in a hockey game, or would you rather score a goal?
I made a living as a plus player.
He's a plus player. Yeah, he's a.
It probably gets me in the lineup next game. So.
Yeah, if it gets you in the lineup, plus player for sure. Let's go to you guys both answered the same on that one. Let's go to this one. This is a great one, and we had the chance to talk to Cody off the air before this. Would you rather be a dirty hockey player who everyone knows, or a clean one who is under the radar? What do you think, John?
I'd definitely be a clean player who's under the radar, just because I've never really been known as a guy that's been a dirty guy or a cheap shotter. So I'd probably stick with it.
What do you think, Dhooghe? What do you got?
Well, if I wanted to be a dirty hockey player, I would need to grow about 6 inches. So I'll stick with being a clean guy under the radar.
Is there anybody in the USHL right now where you guys like this? And you don't have to mention names, but is there a guy out there that you're like, oh, every time you play him, you got to watch for a little extra jab here and there?
I know a couple guys just from
Couple guys
this year and part of last year, just remembering who they are.
What do you think, Scott? Would you be the dirty player?
Well, I wasn't the cleanest player in the world. I got a lot of penalty minutes, but I honestly believe in hockey there are some guys who want to win so bad, and they put everything they have on the line that they come out as dirty just because they play so hard and so mean and so nasty. They want it so bad. You could call them dirty, but to that player, they're just saying, hey, I'm doing what I need to do to try to win. So, I like that type of player with a bit of grit.
So John's a clean player. Jason Dhooghe is by default a clean player. Cody, you were a guy that was a plus guy, right? What are your thoughts on being a dirty player that everybody knows, or a clean player that is under the radar?
I don't think I was either one of those things, to be honest with you. I was probably under the radar dirty.
That's a good spot to be.
A little bit, as my career went on, I was a little bit more of that instigator, get under your skin guy,
and then get the guy out there to fight, right?
Right. I mean, we were talking about it before the
there.
show, but I had my line mates in the American League for a long stretch. When I was in Texas, I had Luke Gazdick, who is a tough guy in the NHL for the Oilers. And when I was in Wilkes-Barre, I had Steve McIntyre, who's probably the toughest human being I've ever met.
So you just instigate a little bit and then pass it off. Just like,
yeah, so I got.
Why don't you meet my friends
asked
here?
To fight a lot. Usually deferred to one of those two guys, and they always put on a good show when they fought. So I enjoyed watching.
Hey, you don't have to be dirty or clean. You just got to be smart, right? That's a very smart way to look at it.
And especially when Coach Chubb's played at that level. And, I mean, everybody has a role, and, this is your living. This is what you're doing for your job, and there's somebody else that wants your job. And if a coach tells you to go out and be a rat, you're going to go out and be a rat. I don't know, Coach, if that's...
No, you're exactly right. I mean, we talk about it a lot, but as your career goes on, your roles change quite a bit.
Yeah.
And, from being a power play first-line guy in college hockey, it's a drastic change to playing third line penalty kill, and if I have an opportunity to give my team a power play, that's big for me and hopefully helps keep me in the lineup the following game.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our last question here. We got just about 2 minutes left in our match game. John and Jason, this is a tough one. I had a lot of time to look this one up. Would you rather be the first to hold the Stanley Cup and break it on live TV, or accidentally score on your own net in Game 7, leading to the Stanley Cup game-winning goal? Boys?
That's
John
probably one of the
first.
toughest questions I've ever been asked,
millions of people are watching on national television, so...
Yeah, but I would have to be the first to hold the Stanley Cup and break it on live TV, just because... You did already win the Stanley Cup, so, I mean, can't really get too embarrassed after that.
Jason?
I'm going to have to agree. Scoring on your own net.
Reluctantly, I'm going to do that.
Net, that's pretty embarrassing. You don't want to be known as the guy walking around in the city where you play hockey. You're the guy who scored on your own net and lost the Stanley Cup. So
I don't think you can... live any of that. I mean, that's a tough. You're picking the lesser of two evils there. I think.
Steve Smith, Edmonton Oilers, skating behind his net, going out to make a breakout pass, hitting his goaltender in the back of the foot and going in his own net against the Calgary Flames in whatever year that was. He'll never live it down, right?
No,
That's
absolutely.
Your team a Stanley Cup opportunity. Yeah, break the cup. Who cares? Party with your buddies. You won.
Exactly.
How do you?
Plenty of times.
Exactly. But how do you go back to your locker room if you're the guy that...
Oh, I think the boys would have a good time with it. Just giving you, just celebrate. Take the cup, take the pieces.
The cup, break it. Yeah, I agree with that. And then I've never played the game, but if you scored on your own net in Game 7, I would literally grab my stuff. I wouldn't even change in the locker room. I'd get in my car, and I would leave, I would think.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubt.
Tough deal.
That is a tough deal. Either way.
I mean, hockey's a great game where your team, it happens, let's be honest. It happens a lot where somebody's a GOAT. And I've never had an experience, and I've been the GOAT, where, your team is there for you regardless.